Venus in the birth chart represents our aesthetic, it represents our values, it represents our creativity, even our children. It represents how we show up in relationships, but it also represents how we share our gifts and talents with the world. Venus in Virgo is not really the placement where they're going to show these extravagant expressions of love. Like, they're not even really big on like the flirtation scale. I feel like they're more about devoting themselves to somebody, and like Virgos are very, very loyal. So Virgos will do whatever it takes to make a relationship work, but they also tend to attract, and this doesn't just go for Virgo Venus, this goes for like Virgo rising, Virgo moon. They tend to attract people that are broken in some way, that need some sort of healing. And so they tend to attract situations with Venus and Virgo of the dynamic of them healing and fixing another. Virgo tends to attract the broken and the injured, and this can be more on an emotional level than necessarily like a physical level. If you're looking for someone who is loyal and devoted to like the details about who you are, someone with Venus and Virgo would be perfect for you, because they truly are like a ride or die. Like, they are very mutable and they will stick around in a situation for a long time. So if loyalty is something you value, and like somebody who is like steadfast and who will follow through, Venus and Virgo is a great placement. That Virgos in general tend to be like loners and somewhat introverted, but their love language is definitely like acts of love. So they tend to show their love through their service. So like, let's say they go let your dog out and take the dog for a walk. Like, that's them showing that they care about you because they're trying to take less off of your plate. Most Virgo placements tend to play it safe, so they're not the ones who are going to try to like go after you. They're more, their standards are high, so they expect people to pursue them. They're not really like I wouldn't consider them like the Rico Suaves of the zodiac. Like, I feel like they're more like the ice princesses or princes. They're not necessarily like Venus and Sag, which we will get to. And yes, I will finish every Venus placement, I promise you. Thank you for continuing to watch. Virgo, they want to make sure to play it safe. They're not going to just like put themselves on the line and be all vulnerable and ooey and gooey if like you aren't even into them. Like, they're not going to do that. They're more like, let me figure you out before I decide if I want to waste my time or not. So that's why it's been very conflicting for Virgo risings over the last decade, because they've seen people's potential rather than who they really are. And that's one of the curses, in my opinion, of Virgo placements, is they tend to see people for what they could be rather than what they are. Virgo placements, especially Venus and Virgo, they desperately want to help. They desperately will go to great lengths to help whoever in their life that they deem worthy. Again, who they deem worthy. They're not going to just help anybody. They're going to help people that they feel like there is hope for them. So sometimes Virgo placements, especially Venus and Virgo, can come across as like this critical energy, and it's like needing to learn how to see the forest for the trees sometimes, like, because being critical is very easy. And for Virgo placements, they tend to be perfectionists, so they want everything to be perfect all the time, and that's just not how life goes, unfortunately. So for people that are dealing with heavy Venus and Virgo, or like a Virgo rising in their life, you know, they can be stress cases, and they tend to have a lot of anxiety, and they can be annoying to others because they're so critical and they see the flaws in everything. So it's like, you know, if let's say the table salt isn't filled, the Virgo placement is going to notice that shit and it's going to irritate them. So like, have compassion for their compulsions, but at the same time, for Venus and Virgo or Virgo placements, try to find more gratitude rather than things to complain about, because there's always going to be things that we can nitpick. And learning to accept that life is never perfect, I think, is a big part of Virgo placements' life lesson. I hope this helps.